Okay, there we go. It looks like it's all up. JW, sorry, can I just make sure I can hear you on stream?
Sure. Hello, hello, and welcome to this great stream.
Yeah!
Great.
Perfect. Alrighty, well, Loco Roco gets himself together. Hey there, hi there, ho there, everybody. Mindful Pig here, and JW, of course, and it is the Two Tired Dudes podcast. I am going to be the odd man out this time because Cheyenne is sleeping behind me, and I figured it would be appropriate to have my camera on during that. But yeah, we got a special guest today. It's going to be Loco Roco. He's going to be joining us in a few minutes. He just had to hop away for a few seconds there. And we're kind
It
of
would
just
be
gonna
funny, that she wakes up like in the middle of of the podcast.
just the blooper reel, just all the moments where Cheyenne's slowly waking up. But yeah, it's been like a month, I think, at this point, maybe even longer since our last podcast, and that was 100% on this guy. I just had some craziness going on at work. I had a head office visit, and then I also had a seasonal flip that was like due in 12 hours from October 31st to November 1st. So yeah, just lots to do, and I couldn't do everything, but we're back and we're gonna basically touch base on everything we did for the month of October. I figured it'd be kind of cool to recap the last month, movies, games. Not too sure for JW's side, but like for me, I like to focus that whole month on just horror movies, horror TV shows, horror games, because I'm usually shit scared of all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like a little challenge to myself. Yeah, so I got quite a bit, but Mr. JW, we're waiting for Loco Roco. Why don't you kick us off? What have you been up to the past
Sure.
month?
Um, it might be a really long podcast because I've seen a lot of stuff this month and played a lot of stuff. Um, I will start with the shows this time. Where I don't know. Are you aware about the Penguin TV show?
Yeah, I heard like little bits and pieces about it.
Okay, so for the people that don't know, it's basically because there's the movie with Pattinson, whatever his name is.
Yeah,
The guy from Twilight, where
Robert
he plays
Pattinson.
Bruce Wayne Batman. Yeah. There's this movie made by Matt Reeves that he does, which is young Batman, right? And in that movie, you see multiple villains. So you see the Riddler, you see the Penguin, you see multiple. So you
Oh,
see the Penguin before he's like big and big in the underworld and all that, right? And so the show takes place after that movie. Like you don't need to see the film to understand the show, or vice versa. You could really watch it on its own, and it would still work. It's just that some events that transpired the movie will translate back to the show.
that's cool that they're
And
somewhat related.
yeah, for sure, yeah. And like the actor that does Penguin, Colin Firth, is like so good. He's like completely unrecognizable in this role, and uh, yeah, no, it's such a great show. Like it's definitely my top show this year for sure. And every episode has been very good, where you see Penguin trying to seize this opportunity of climbing up in the underworld. And it's almost like a Soprano show, but in the Batman universe. So it's super cool,
Sorry,
and
JW,
it's
where'd
super
you
well
watch it
written.
on?
Oh yeah, it's on Crave. It's an HBO show.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So for Americans, HBO, Crave for Canadians,
That's sick.
and yeah, it's sick. There's like not one bad episode or anything. It's awesome. Like I can't recommend it enough. Even if like you didn't see the movie and you would just like be interested in this sort of crime drama show in the Batman universe, you could definitely watch it and still enjoy it a lot. And yeah, that was my top highlight of TV shows this year.
That's cool. Thanks. I'll have to check that one
And
out then.
yeah, and like there's a bunch of show I watched, but this one sort of took it all. I started the second season of Linus as well,
Okay.
which is a sort of a bit of a Tom Clancy type ish story, sort of clandestine secret division inside the CIA that does missions, but in like a really realistic way. So first season was super good, where you followed this sort of covered up girl. Basically, the concept is that the Linus operation is that it's a group of people that they use someone outside of the agency usually to then use as an undercover and turn them into an agent for that mission specifically. And so they're very expendable.
Okay.
And so that has been it. Each season is different as of now. Like there's only like a couple of episodes season two. That's another really good show, a great show that I would recommend. That's on Paramount Plus though. Not, I know Paramount is not the cup of tea of a lot of people. You don't have much, but it's definitely worth it.
Okay.
Well, it comes in with for me at least Walmart, because I have login with Walmart, so they give me Paramount Plus for free.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that.
They used to do it with Amazon Prime, but they stopped with their partnership. Not
Yeah,
too
they
sure
stopped.
why. Yeah, because I used
Yeah,
to have it
because
on Prime.
yeah, because it's true that you can access Paramount through Amazon Prime, but maybe not anymore. I don't know. So
Yeah,
that's another great show. Um, Man, there's
I think.
just there's just a whole list. Like it's funny because they all came out around the same time too. All the good shows. Like for a while this year, I was like, there there aren't anything good. I was complaining to my wife. She was telling me there's nothing to watch. There's so much nothing to watch that we watch all sitcoms.
Yeah.
So that's
One
true. I
movie I would
finished. Go ahead. Sorry.
one movie I would recommend is even though I got really horrible marketing, is Transformers One. Like
Oh
the
yeah.
animated one just released. I watched it on a pirated website, and I'm like, this is a really good film for being a Transformers fan myself. It focused on the story of Orion Pax and who Megatron once was and how he became, and like it showed how the betrayal happened and how Megatron grew from wanting to follow all these rules to them being broken by the leader. So he said, well, I have nothing to lose. I'll break it myself. And ultimately start the vision of what is to come for the war and the fall of their planet.
Right.
Yeah, the trailers
Oh,
looked
that sounds
really
cool.
sick for that movie.
Well, everybody that I know that have seen it have all said good things about it compared to previous movies. So,
Yeah, the only thing I nitpick about is the voice actors.
I had they changed them.
Yeah, like there's the character Jazz doesn't sound like the actual Jazz from like the G1 or the Michael Bay film. Then you got Megatron a little bit, but Optimus I would have brought back Peter Cullen. And then
Well, yeah, isn't his voice iconic at this point?
yeah, they brought Chris Hemsworth to be Optimus in this one.
Wow.
Really?
And then they brought for I think it was Alita one, they brought the actor that played it, Scarlett Johansson. That's who they brought. And you could tell that she didn't really put effort into her voice because her voice wasn't changed. It was more of just the same voice. So you hear it as day to day. So I was like, voice actors could have been a bit better.
Well, not to throw you off track, JW, but while we got the moment here, Loco Roco, it's your first time on. So usually what we do is you can have your moment, right, to let people know about yourself. Some people talk about their streaming and all that, but I know you don't do that. But I'm sure you have a lot of other hobbies you could talk about, and then just like what you enjoy about gaming, or what games have really impacted you and you enjoyed the most. Yeah. It's your moment
Oh,
to shine, my
games
friend.
I've enjoyed. Games I've enjoyed over the years. I'll start with when I was a wee bitty toddler. No, I think the first game I was introduced to was Call of Duty 3 on the PS2,
Wow.
along with Call of Duty Big Red One. That's when I first got into gaming. And then we got a PS3. My games that I loved there was Minecraft, Fall of Cybertron, Dark of the Moon. Um, and then I got an Xbox One, and I really fell in love with Battlefield 1. I found myself a community. The first platoon I joined was Rats, RATZ, and then I left, went to LERP, did that for a while, left, and then went to 13th. And then I'm still a big Battlefield person, but right now, like, community sucks for it. The game is not worth playing.
You
So
mean
I've just
2077 or what?
2042.
Yeah, 42. Such a random number too.
It's not a good game. It's cartoonish at best. But I still go back and play Battlefield 1 and Minecraft Bedrock Edition. And then recently I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty and College Football 25. My main other games that I've really enjoyed. But some of the hobbies that I have, I like to collect Transformers. I spent over, I'm going to be guilty of it, $2,000 into a collection.
I could see it. They're expensive.
Yeah, well, it depends because you have price ranges. Because smaller figures like the deluxe are like $30 to $20. You have what is it? Deluxe, Voyager, and Leader class. Voyager's around like $40, and the Leader classes are like $50, $60. So it definitely costs some money. I mean, I think the most expensive one I have was Ironhide, who was a small release at the time, so not many people were able to get their hands on him. So he became a high price figure throughout the years. I think I spent over $120 on him.
Oh wow!
But hey, I'm not. I like the purchase.
Of course,
yeah. I love it to this day. Trying to think of some other hobbies I like. I mean, not many. I'm a very basic and simple person. Just I like to come home, game, play with the dog, talk to the girl, and then go to sleep.
Well, I
That's
know I
me.
got to hear Peaswad and Sleepy Weasel's reasons why, but what about Battlefield really caught your attention? Because you mentioned that you really enjoy playing that series, right? So what keeps you into it?
Oh yeah. The gameplay,
Yeah,
the squad-based movement, um, just the action and destruction it brings. That's one thing that 2042 lacks with 1 and 5 is that it's so open and less destruction. When you have Battlefield 1 and 5, you have so much action just going on one single frame. Like you could talk about the blimp in BF1, it going down,
yeah.
and then you have the air battles going on, and then you have tanks and you have infantry moving around. It's like there's so many moving parts going on at once. It feels like a genuine war game. It's not like Call of Duty or Hell Let Loose, for instance. You feel like you're in a war setting. I think one thing that 5 lacked a little more, but 1 just perfected it. But I think one thing that I nitpick about the Battlefield franchise with 1 and 5 is the stories. I like 1 bit more with the stories, but 5 kind of pulled the plug on it a little bit. So one thing I love about Battlefield is just the gameplay.
No, that's an excellent point. You're right. It captures that war experience like no other game. And then before I jump back to JW to finish up his recap there, I'm just really curious, what Transformers movie has been your favorite then that you've seen since you're such a big fan? Like which one
Oh
do you feel has
God,
really captured Transformers in general?
Dark of the Moon.
Yeah?
Honestly, I didn't like. One thing I can nitpick about the Bayverse is it focused more on the human element than it did the Transformers. But I feel like it could focus more on the Transformers than humans. But I see why they did it. But when you watch Dark of the Moon, the subject of Megatron being weak after Revenge of the Fallen, and him having an unknown alliance that Optimus at the time did not know with Sentinel Prime. Sentinel turning his back on his own person that he once mentored and led, trying to save his own planet, but yet bring a downfall to another planet. And you can see it's the destruction, it's the action, it's Autobots truly fighting for Decepticons, humanity for Cybertron. It's like, who's gonna win? You see Autobots like Sideswipe, the Wreckers, Bumblebee, Ratchet, all just diving into the action. One part I loved was when the Autobots arrived and the humans were trying to get above sky of the pillars. One thing I loved was that Optimus was starting to incorporate his own tactics. Like I think he said to the humans in Sideswipe was like, "You wait here while we scout a route ahead." And then Sideswipe said to Ratchet, cover high, like, "Hey, cover the Decepticons who are going to be coming from above." And it's just the movie is so well rounded in the action. It takes a long time to lead up to it, but the action it's amazing, and I can word that movie from line to line. I've seen it 1,000 times.
No, I'm with you now. That is a solid pick. That is a really good one. Sorry, JW. Where were you at with your list there?
But back to JW.
No problem. Well, I was just saying that I recently finished Curb Your Enthusiasm, all 12 seasons, which is a sort of sitcom without the fake laughs of Larry David, the guy who wrote Seinfeld, and his life. And it's a hilarious show. It's like one of my favorite comedies I've ever seen. So that super well written, super well done,
It's
super
so funny.
yeah, it's so funny. I would highly recommend it.
I'll have to check it out. I think one of my favorite comedies were the Gabriel Iglesias comedy with the racist gift basket joke, where he tricks his black comedian friend into thinking the KKK is at his door when it's just him and Martin standing there being idiots, having this gift basket full of just black stereotypes, and it was, and he loved it too. He was like, "Oh, fried chicken, watermelon, cigarettes." I love that.
But yeah, no, it's. I have to say though, it depends if it's your cup of tea, because it's more of a awkward type of humor than skits or jokes or whatever. So it's more like situational, where this person did X to that person, so then it comes back to bite him in the ass later on in the episode and stuff like that. But
I think
that was great.
It just captures like real life so well. You know what I mean? Like just the scenarios he's in. Like it's like
I know.
Yeah, it's like your everyman scenario. Like you've definitely experienced one of these events in your lifetime.
Oh yeah, it felt like I was watching myself. Like literally, like he would say stuff. I would say word that I would have said word for word, or that I've had the conversation in the past. Like it was insane to see. And but yeah, so that was cool. There's the third season of From that came out this October that I've started watching. It's extremely boring right now. Like it's the worst season as of yet. Like season 1 and 2 were great, but this one, it feels like the writer's strike might have impacted that season. So currently, I wouldn't recommend it. Like I have trouble. I'm continuing just so I continue this season, but like I would stop, I think.
What's that show about,
But
those GW?
All right, it's basically, it's a bit of a supernatural thing where a family are trying to get to their vacation place, then they're stopped in the road by this giant log with crows and whatever in the road.
Okay.
So they try to go back or whatever, but then they keep just going on a loop constantly. and then they end up at like this small town where the same thing happened to everyone, and so they're stuck in this sort of place, and there are like weird stuff that happens at night and monsters and
That's kind of cool. Okay.
yeah, no, it's really good. It's just being slow and stupid right now. So, and they have too many characters, so it's long. But yeah. So enough about shows. I'm sure there are others, but let's move on. Um, in terms of films, I have watched. Um, I've watched the sequel to Beetlejuice, right? Beetlejuice,
Oh,
which was
nice.
surprisingly very yeah, that was
How was it?
surprisingly very good. Like it's an extremely messy film in terms of structurally, but it's hilarious. Like if you like the first one, you'll really like this one. It's a very fun movie.
Oh, that's good to
I
hear.
remember when I was younger, my sister would have it, and 10-year-old me would be freaked out seeing like the alligator football team walk in, and like it was a very dreary movie, of course. But like for like a 9-year-old, it's like, what the heck am I watching at like
Yeah.
4 a.m. in the morning? Why is this on?
Well, I mean the second movie, without wanting to spoil too much, like it starts off with like someone that is dismembered that is reattaching itself, right? So yeah, I totally get it.
That's good to know,
Why?
though. Like, that was a big
So
timeline between both those movies, so I'm glad it panned out.
yeah, and I'm surprised. I thought for sure like it would be one of just those sort of reboot sequel that would be not very good or whatever,
Yeah.
but it turned out to be like Tim Burton for a while hasn't been making good movies, right? Like, or the last time I've seen a good Tim Burton movie has been in forever. And it's like if the for the first time we saw him like unleashed in like a while. Like I was extremely surprised.
Wow.
And so there's that. That's I recommend. There's the Deadpool and Wolverine
That's a
movie.
great film.
That
That
was so good. Like I thought it would be bad because they would try to connect it with the Marvel universe and all that, but it ended up being extremely good, very very good, especially if you know like the references. Like it's such a weird movie too, because I can't explain it because it spoils a bit of the movie, but basically it has to do a lot with the previous company that owned all these IPs, right? 20th Fox before they got bought by Disney. So it
Oh, okay.
revolves a lot around that, and it's extremely funny. I like
it
I
brings old characters into the new wave of Marvel.
yeah, and like I say, it's even better than the second one, the sequel. Like, my favorite one remains the first one, but my next favorite one would be this third movie. It was very very good,
Okay, that
very
explains
funny.
a lot then, because I was wondering, I was like, why the hell is Blade in it and like all this other stuff? But okay, if they were just
Okay, so
referencing.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Well, it's like a oh, okay, I don't want to spoil it either. Like, there's so much I want to mention that is so good and so funny. Um,
like it brings back old actors to their old characters, bringing one homage, but two giving them a chance at what was a bad film to be in a really good film.
Okay, well,
oh
we'll just
yeah, for
say like
sure.
spoiler warning then, because like I don't mind if you guys want to talk about it. Like I said, I've seen a lot of shorts already, so I've pretty much ruined a lot for myself as it is. But yeah, if you want to mention
Oh
certain
no.
parts, go for it, my man.
Okay, well, I'll mention one part which is a spoil for a couple of minutes. My I like they bring in Channing Tatum as Gambit, and it's hilarious because there used to be a project to bring in Gambit, and it would be Channing Tatum, the actor. So the whole joke during the whole movie is how now he's finally getting a chance at a project that never existed, and
Oh,
like he doesn't know where how he got born or anything, and it's hilarious. Like
That's the joke. Okay, now
yeah,
I
yeah.
understand.
Oh yeah, no, it was a canceled project because it was being made until Disney bought 20th Fox.
Yeah, because I see
There's a lot
40.
of like jokes with underlying meanings to it. Like there's a surface level joke, the good level joke, and then the actual meaning to the joke.
Oh, it's super weird. 'Cause it's the first movie where, to me, it felt almost like a funeral to a company. Like it was like a big homage to this great company, I guess, right? Uh, so anyway, so there was a lot of nostalgia there as well for me because I remember all these characters, right? And the how it was made and everything. So very, very good.
Yeah, yeah, because it
And
makes so much more sense now. Because I was like, it was such random characters I would see on the shorts, right? Like I saw Electra on there. I was like, why the hell is she in this? Like, what is going on in this movie?
there's another joke which is extremely funny where they present her or whatever, and Deadpool is just like, yeah, who could forget?
I feel like my favorite scene, a little bit of a spoilers, but would be Chris Evans making like calling her like this ginormous insult. And then when Deadpool says it, he's like, I never said that. And then it
Yeah.
cuts to the scene later on in the movie where he does say it.
Yeah, that's so good as well. Yeah. So yeah, that big recommend as well. Also saw the fourth Bad Boys Ride or Die,
Oh yeah.
which is just more Bad Boys. It's very good as well. Um, I would say that it wasn't my favorite, but it's still very funny. It's still I would still recommend seeing it, right? Especially if you like the previous one. Like it ties in with the third movie, which is what is the third movie? What is it called? Bad Boys for Life, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, Bad Boys for Life. So I recommend watching the third one before the fourth one. But yeah, very funny. I think the second Bad Boys is still my favorite of all of them, but 3 and 4 are really good as well. So recommend that as well. So these are my movies, and now to finally finish up with the games. This
What we
month,
all came here for.
yeah, exactly. I've been playing the Silent Hill 2 remake. I finally ate the bullet and bought it on PS5. And it's been a great time. I've been loving it. And it's an awesome remake, what they've accomplished. And I've seen the small changes they've done. And as of now, it's all good. It doesn't bother me. It's all worth. And yeah, I haven't finished it. I think I'm halfway through, but I would definitely recommend anyone to buy this. It's a great horror title and a great way that they remade that game because the old game, the original one, its design was very archaic at this point. So I think it's definitely worth remake.
I feel like one game that deserves more credit than to what it was when it first came out is Assassin's Creed Unity. For yes, the voice acting and the bugs got to it, but the incorporation of being able to be a great assassin and do all these cool assassinating things that later in the trilogy they took out, which now they're trying to re-implement. It's a great game. Like, it's great. I put it up there with Black Flag.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of my favorites as well. There's something with the town and the how the mission system is done that is extremely addictive and that you just want to run around. And the parkour has never been better since Unity as well.
Oh yeah, and it actually takes a deep dive into the Brotherhood, unlike Black Flag has. It's one thing I love is the Brotherhood, and you're able to play with other assassins and do like missions with 4 assassins. Like that's awesome to do.
Yeah.
I'm a little kid at heart when it comes to the Assassin trilogy.
I know, but I totally agree with you. Like this game, I didn't play it at launch, so maybe that has something to do with it. But it has definitely been overlooked, that game.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And like it still looks good compared to other Assassin's Creed as well. Like I wish they would have stuck with that engine.
Agreed, but you know these companies want to run like what's the main two engines they run nowadays? Like two different engines
It's
most companies
Snowdrop,
run. Yeah, and then whatever EA
Unreal.
runs. Yeah,
Well, runs Frostbite, and Ubisoft is Snowdrop, depending on the game. But I think the Assassin's Creed are on Snowdrop, because I think Rainbow Six Siege is on Unreal Engine, but I might be wrong. So yeah, so October has been that. October has been also gaming with Mindful Pig, streaming as well with Diablo 4, which is so much better than I thought it would be. Like it's such a great surprise, that game. It's like I was especially that it has MMO components, and I'm not much of a MMO multiplayer type of guy. This game is really good. Like much
I heard
different
it.
than the other ones, but other Diablos, but very very good as well.
I heard they got a whole like rework into the multiplayer because I didn't play. I played up until season 4, and then I stopped playing, so I haven't gotten back into it yet. But I heard it's got a whole rework to the new system.
Well, that's what I hear as well, but I don't know. Like I said, me and Mindful Pig just started, last October. So we're discovering all this, and we were surprised at how big and how much stuff there's to do, and it's just been a blast, really.
Yeah, I haven't been this excited to play a Diablo game since Diablo 2. Like this literally has captured that magic. It's
This game,
amazing what they did with, especially like when I was telling W, you compare it to Diablo 3, like it's night and day. Like it's come so far. Like I can't believe how well this game was put together. Now of course I remember at launch it wasn't in the same state, but yeah, it's a phenomenal game. It's definitely worth it now.
Yes, I was talking with someone about this, and he was telling me that at launch there weren't much to do, especially late game, and that now compared to at launch, it's like there's too much to do. So they've really turned a new leaf on this.
Yeah, just like I said, all the side quests too. Like it never like it's overwhelming, but you always want to keep going. You always want to like, okay, you know what? I'll just take this little path and I'll see what happens.
Yeah. Oh, I just want to do this side quest, and then you ended up exploring all the way down to the other side of the map, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I love it.
One game that I would say that aged itself well is Need for Speed. Cause I'm looking at it right now, and I'm like, that is one game worth playing because it actually does real life cutscenes, and like the graphics, it's just like you think it'd be Xbox Series X or X.
Yeah, Need for Speed was
Well,
really good.
which Need for Speed?
Just it's just called Need for Speed. That's not
Well,
Need for Speed.
So I guess the one probably after Undercover, where they tried to reboot itself.
I
No,
think
and it
so.
came out in 15. It has like 20 gigabytes.
I'm just trying to see the order, but yeah, continue.
But yeah, no, like I feel like a lot of games nowadays, just because of Fortnite, are having to like rush itself and make it fit like this certain demographic of gamers, when like the core gamer group just wants, a good, decent game. It's like why Diablo was such a good game, because it stuck to its roots, it stuck to the gamer core, but also implemented things that games nowadays take on, like a battle pass. But it keeps on adding to itself. That's one
Oh,
thing that I
nice.
like is that games nowadays do that. And it's some games, live action, like was it? I call it live action. Live gaming doesn't need to be a thing. Like, release the maps, give us DLC, make the next game.
Yeah, absolutely no, but they're greedy, so
Yeah,
they know they can get
EA.
away with a half-finished product, right?
Yeah,
I was
EA, Ubisoft, Call of Duty.
We were
Companies.
talking about this, me and Mindful Pig, the last Monday when we were playing and streaming Diablo 4, where it seems company they know they can get away with like releasing a sort of early access version of the game, and that
Yeah.
they, with time, they can patch it out and sort of stretch out the time it takes to get money, or stretch out their sort of getting money way. You know, for example, No Man's Sky hasn't dropped price in like forever because it keeps updating, right?
And like that like we can regroup back on the Battlefield 1 or Battlefield 5. The one thing I liked about it is because it, one, kept to its roots, but two, it released quality good content that it came with, and it wasn't full of these bugs that were game breaking that most games like 2042 you see nowadays have, that become end up a flop because there's so many games that came out that could have been something if they were just left in the oven a bit longer.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm looking at the Need for Speed you're talking about. It's the one after Rivals. There's been like 10 Need for Speed games since the last Need for Speed I played, which was Undercover in 2008.
I know that series
Yeah.
had a lot.
Yeah.
Burnout as well.
I've only played one.
Yeah, the one 2015 you said?
Yeah, I've only played that one. I finished
Yeah.
it completely. It was a great game.
Well, you said
Yeah, I heard good things about it.
you said you started playing games around the PS2 era, right, Loco?
Oh yeah, like back in
Yeah. So I
2011.
like you played like right at the prime, I think, of gaming too. So I mean, yeah, I could
For
totally
sure.
I could totally see why, you have the views you do right now, because yeah, it's like to go from that to where we are now in gaming, yeah, it's like night and day.
Like, I don't find
Ugh.
games today enjoyable unless I have a crew with going on. Like, I'm usually with Sleepy or Peaswad most of the time.
Yeah, of course.
And the only games that I do enjoy are the ones that I played when I was younger, like Battlefield 1, Titanfall 2. Trying to think, look at some others, and like football, like Madden or college football.
I mean,
Like the only true games because they're fun games to me.
yeah, no, of course. I was gonna say it's funny, right? We all literally have that same opinion too on that. It's just like the games you grew up on are just not comparable to the games that we get nowadays. It's a shame.
Like when Fortnite first came out, it was its own game. I can't agree to that.
Yeah,
But then when everyone tries to copy it, it's like, okay,
Well, that's the
let's-
thing. They all seem to try to copy each other today compared to before, where they would sort of try out stuff, right?
yeah. Now everyone's too afraid to try out stuff because of bad reviews and critics,
of course.
which they shouldn't.
Yeah, they're trying to do some safe investment to have money back because budgets are ballooning. Like the budgets are too big, so they don't want to take risks.
Yeah, which is crazy because games shouldn't be taking $500 million to make one simple game.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely, for sure.
Like, if we look up, here, let's do the math. How much it costs to make Black Flag?
Which I think is getting a remaster.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a remake or a remaster, but yeah, it's getting a sort of a something.
Yeah,
The game deserves it.
I still have to play my
Let's
copy.
say-
It's still
I think
wrapped up.
Unity deserves it more.
But like, when and at the end of the day, these games are costing too much money to make
Oh,
that
for
are so
sure.
lackluster in today's gaming
Yeah.
world.
Absolutely. So, Mindful, what have you been playing this October?
Well, oh, Cheyenne, you okay? um,
Just woke up?
yeah, just woke up coughing. Um, Christ, what was the first thing I played? Oh, wait, okay, yeah, this whole month is pretty much for Resident Evil 4. Which is the game I'm kind of
That's
torn.
true, yeah.
Which is the game I'm kind of like torn between. With Diablo 4 right now. I probably like I don't know. We'll see. There's still 2 more months left, so we'll see what my game of the year is gonna be. But definitely Resident Evil 4 blew me away. I remember it was great when I played on the PS2, and I only got as far as the lake part with that giant monster in there. And then whatever, I don't know,
Right.
ADHD kicked in as a kid, I guess, and I just trailed off to a different game. But going back to that has just been such a fantastic ride. Um, I don't know, there's so much I could say about that game, but I guess the first part is that it hasn't even aged. Like I understand why people said like it didn't need a remake. I'm sure the remake is great, and I'm not against it whatsoever. But even the older version is still fucking beautiful. Like I mean, there's nothing wrong with the graphics and like that. Like I don't know. I really like how the characters look. I like how the enemies look. I like the scenery that you're in all the time. Besides all that, like I said before, I love Leon. I think he's a fantastic character. I love his little badass attitude he has. And I love the moments too where he realizes that the other guy is way beyond his power level. Like I constantly for that first part where he interacts. I can't remember the dude's name, but anyway, the big tall guy there. He goes to kick him, and he just like literally
Yeah.
catches Leon's foot, just throws him away like nothing. And I was like, oh shit, I am weak. Like it's such a slap in
And
reality.
it's a super kick, though. Also, it's not like a flimsy kick. It's like a jump kick, right?
Yeah, like he put some power into it, right? It's just like nothing against this guy. And yeah, like it just keeps
The cheesy lines are just so good.
it is.
No way,
Yeah.
bro.
They are so good. I love how the game just keeps evolving. It feels like you start off in that little pathway going to the village, go through the lake area there, you transform over to the castle, and it just keeps hyping it up. It just keeps building up to the next thing. I don't even really care about the bad guys. It's just exciting, like going up against them finally. Like I said in the beginning, right? You get the guy that catches your foot, and you eventually get to take him on. And that boss battle is awesome. I really enjoyed that one. And now I got this little weasel wannabe. So I'm excited to see, what happens when I make it to the end of the castle and finally get to fight that arsehole. Even Ashley, like I was saying to JW, like it takes a lot of work to make an escort quest still enjoyable, and somehow this game does it. Like as much as I hate Ashley most of the time, like I've never at the point where I'm like I don't want to play this anymore because it's annoying. Like I want to keep going. I'm like,
It's her voice.
yeah,
It's so grating,
especially when I got to
and she
play as
always
her.
screams.
That was
But yeah, no, we were saying last time, like Resident Evil 4 is probably one of the best games like ever made in video game history,
yes,
and it's made with the design of the worst type of mission in video game history, which is escort missions.
yeah, just like I mean
So that's insane, yeah.
the collectibles, like just like finding things, going and like deciding what weapon you want to use. It's so funny, right? People hop on the stream, right? Everyone has their own pick of what I should go into, what should I be investing in towards. And I love that. I love that this game has captured so many people for so many different reasons and elements. I don't know. The more I talk about it, it definitely deserves to be game of the year, like no doubt.
And early on, it has, limbs detection, right? Where you shoot it in the legs, then you can kick him with a roundhouse kick, and a bunch of gameplay and like freedom of gameplay of how to tackle a situation is what the key thing is with this game, I think.
That's like the funniest part because as I'm playing it, right, even as I'm like going through it, I know I want to beat it. I know I want to move on to other games afterwards. A part of me is like, I want to play it again, just like you said, just so I can re-experience those parts. Now that I have an understanding of what's going to come at me, when to save ammo, when to use ammo, all that kind of stuff. I feel like it'd be such a unique second playthrough. Yeah, I get it. I really get Resident Evil more and more that I play that game, and the other ones in the series too.
Well, I mean, now that you've played this one, though, you don't need to play the other ones. They're all worse.
Yeah, that's true. Right? Jimmy's heart right now is breaking.
Well, I know his heart is with one, but I
No, it's
mean
all he loves them all except for what do you call it there? 5?
six.
Was it 6? Okay, 6
No,
was the
it's
really bad
six.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, six is definitely the worst of the series. Like two is not great by any mean, but since it's a co-op game, it's a really fun experience, right?
Yeah. But
But it's certainly much better than six by far.
if he ever gets on here one time, I'll have to like bring up 6 because it's so funny. He won't say it's bad. Like he'll say it's bad, right? He'll admit like, "Oh yeah, it's not that great," but he goes like on the little bits of positive about it. Like it's
Sure.
co-op. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, sure. I mean, I'm sure it's a lot of fun, just like when you're outside with your friend and throwing, spike balls at each other. That's fun as well. But it's not great if you like prick yourself with it, right? That's basically Resident Evil 6.
So that's Resident Evil 6 in a nutshell. JW knows this one, but on the Switch there for about a couple of weeks, I was rocking Amnesia, the Dark Descent. But unfortunately, I don't really understand what happened, but the Switch just kind of, I guess, couldn't run it the whole way through. So I ended up having the game freeze on me. And then there was like another part where I think there was a glitch where I just couldn't pass through a door that I should have been able to pass through. Like something just happened. So that kind of sucked. I was a good, like, I don't know, 15 hours into it, or 13 hours or it would have been.
So don't buy Amnesia on Switch.
Yeah, literally. I'm so shocked. Like it was already trucking along, like trying to run that game, and I was like, okay, it's working at least, so I can still play it. And then yeah, no, half like whatever I said was 10 or 13 hours into it. It finally gave out on me for that game.
For me, that's the most insane part, actually. That it had trouble running Amnesia: The Dark Descent because it's a 2010 video game.
Yeah, like you were saying, it should have run it like no problem, but I don't know, it was weird. It just yeah. But I definitely want to. I said I'll look for it on PS4 or Xbox, whatever is a cheaper option. And I'll play that one again because I was enjoying it. Like it has the really unique mechanics. I love the fact that, like, as your sanities go into shit, you start to see things that I still don't really understand if they're there or not. I didn't risk it. I just kept lighting fires so I would go back to normal. But yeah, I love the fact that it like messes with you so much and so often. Kind of gave me that same feeling, I guess, that Layers of Fear did. But obviously, this game there is an actual risk and danger involved as you're exploring that world. And even the little notes. I'm not a big. Most people who don't watch me, I don't usually read a lot of the notes or the stories left behind. I'll usually skip past those parts. But that game, I won't lie. Each paper I got or each little thing I could discover about the lore, I took the time to read because it was just so fascinating. The story that they were creating for you as you were going through it. And then the other.
What is Oh, go on, Mindful. I was gonna go on to something different.
Oh no, what's up, buddy? What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say, what is one game that when you played the story, you thought the character was gonna go in one direction, but it completely flipped on you? Like, what's one game that y'all played that you're like, whoa, was not expecting that?
Oh damn, that's been a while.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a couple, but one probably that most people that have played it when it came out remembers is probably the Knights of the Old Republic, right? Where I mean, it's a giant spoiler, so I won't say it, but like you're not expecting it. I don't mean the MMO. I mean the old game, that the first game. I think that I don't remember if it was made by BioWare. I think so.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's BioWare.
It's the game that they were supposed to remake, but that they canceled it, and that now we don't know what's happening with it. But yeah, no, that was a giant. Like, there's a big giant reveal towards the end that was extremely unexpected, and that sort of ruined the game if you know it in advance. So I won't say it.
I think,
But that's from the top of my head, I would say this one.
yeah, as I say, from the top of my head, like I'm sure there's better examples out there, but it's kind of the reason why I always go back to Diablo 2 over and over again. It's when you finally discover that the gentleman that he's talking to is not the angel Teriel, that it's actually Baal the whole time.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really good twist. I knew, like, after a
No,
while
you're right. Yeah.
after a while, right, you knew it wasn't like Terrio, like there was something off, but I didn't expect it to be Bale. And for that to lead into the expansion pack, I thought that was kind of a really neat setup.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, me too. That was such a surprise when I was younger and I played it. Yeah.
What about you,
What about
Loco?
you, Rocco?
What got you thinking about this?
One game. Well, actually, well, yes and no. It was in the game when 2042 was doing its launch, and they released the 12-minute cutscene. And if you ever played Battlefield 4, you and I forget the character's name, were like together, and in 2042, like the main two powers, Russia and the United States, are like split with each other, and you got the notepads, and one character from Battlefield 4 was on the notepads, and one was on the US, and you could kind of see like the years of difference, and it throws you in like this loop because you're like, oh, they're not gonna harm each other, but like, yes, they're friends still, and they're soldiers together, but it throws you in for a loop because one of the main characters now works for Nopats, who abandoned the USA, and one character is for the USA, and the character that worked for the USA sacrificed himself for the other character because of his little son, in order for the Nopats to keep going and surviving for what they were going. So it kind of threw me in for a loop. I'm like, whoa, why did it do that? Because I love Battlefield 4 and what the story brought to the game. So kind of seeing how 2042 brought a new aspect and flipped characters and kind of killed characters off was like shocking. Not something you'd expect.
Right.
That's pretty cool, yeah. Um,
Probably the only thing I had to say about 2042 other than that it's a dog water game.
As I say, the only other game that I had there was also on the Switch. I think PS4 though and Xbox as well. But it's Soul Stalker. Really enjoyed that one. I saw an advertisement for on Twitter. It was like an indie developer. He was just saying, "Hey, I made this game. If anyone wants to try it out, it's now available." I was like, "Yeah, sure, let's take a peek." It's $8 Canadian, so obviously a lot cheaper in the States.
Oh wow.
If you enjoyed Vampire Survivors and Slay the Spire, it's a nice little combination of both of those. There's nothing that this game, like I would say, like does that would make it stand out from that kind of genre. I think they could have done a better job just cutting back all the character choices. Like I think you have, I don't know, 2 pages worth of characters you could probably flip through. So maybe 20 characters in total to play as. So it's a little bit overwhelming. I think they could have done a better job just cutting that back. But I really enjoy the relics and the weapons you get to choose from. So obviously, just any other game, right? Every weapon has its own unique ability that kind of helps you go through it. It's roguelike, so you're gonna do your one run, and you're either gonna beat it or you're gonna restart all the way back from the first dungeon and then work your way up again. The relics are all pretty interesting too, right? Like they add little extra mechanics. To your run or your gameplay. It has different areas in the hub world that you can take advantage of. So there's jobs and there's journeys. Jobs are basically like single runs. So let's say a single run is like 5 parts of the dungeon, where a journey might be 30 parts because you're doing the entire dungeon from the bottom floor to the top. By doing journeys,
Right.
it actually helps you get better jobs. So, example, each job is rated from, I don't know, 1 star to 3 stars. So 1 star being, like the easy, fast ones, 2 stars being a little bit more, and then 3 stars is going to get your max rewards. And everything you're doing is to get more coins. So you can unlock more characters, you can unlock more relics, you can unlock more weapons. So it's definitely like a grindy kind of game. But yeah, if you don't enjoy those kind of games, you probably this one isn't gonna like change your mind. But like I said, if you're looking for a cheap version of that style of gameplay, really liked it. I made sure I shout out to the dev and let him know my opinions and thoughts on it. And yeah, I think he did a pretty good job for making a decent roguelike game. I said I like the combination. I like the feeling of Vampire Survivors and Slay the Spire together. It was definitely a good choice on his part. For putting those two games together in his own unique way.
Cool.
Yeah, and other than that, I just played a lot of Chromebook games. I say this, but they're all like web browser games. There were some pretty cool ones out there.
Chromebook games. What games?
I would love to see it.
Nothing runs on Chromebook.
Powered by Chromebook. But yeah, there was a lot of cool web browser games I played for the month of horror. Nothing really stuck out as something I would shout out and say, yeah, you need to play this. But it was a pretty unique experience, I guess. Played a bunch of like random indie games. Blood, Concrete, and Flesh was probably one of the better ones, story wise. But again, if you play it, you play it. It's just not something that I would recommend doing your time with, like Mindful did. How about you, Mr. Loco Roco? In the past month or so, is there anything you want to shout out? Movies, TV shows, or games that you've been doing?
I mean, I've really only been just stuck back on Minecraft. I recently got back into it because when I was in the army discharging, 4 of us were close knit. We all said, let's create like this Minecraft realm. And every night I'd probably put like 2 to 4 hours in each day, just building up the world and learning the new mechanics of Minecraft. But I would say, let me look at my own games. One game I would give a good shout out to would probably be the finals or Dead Island 2.
Oh,
I mean, I like the finals.
Yeah, the finals is great.
Yeah.
Underrated game, not talked about enough, but it's a great game to play with your friends because it builds that teamwork, like stick together, like kind of like strategize what you're gonna do. It's a good strategy game that old dev creators from past Battlefield games made. It's a really great game.
Well, we have 3 people that play the finals here right now. I'm just saying, maybe a community night. Maybe we can all be a team.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe.
For sure. I don't mind it. Now that I have a working computer, I don't mind it because like I think I stopped playing because I was like, well, they've done some balancing since then, but there used to be a strat where everybody would just take the invisible guy and go invisible and then one-shot you with the double-barrel shotgun. And that got very boring and annoying to play, so I stopped playing. But now that I have a new supercomputer, it's much more enjoyable to play. Like I didn't realize how low a frame I was playing until I got a new computer. So I've been having much fun with it as well recently.
I agree though. Like the finals is a phenomenal game. Definitely very underrated as far as multiplayer goes.
I would say another underrated game, but kind of a more complex game to play would be For Honor.
Oh,
I
okay.
remember
Right.
that coming out in the beta because I'm just looking through my own games and like, I remember that game in like 2017. How you have like the samurai, you have the barbarian faction, and there's so many unique combo moves you could do. It kind of reminded me of Mortal Kombat for an instance, but like with its own twist to it, and it's like it's 3D. You have soldiers fighting around you, and you're fighting the main important battle.
That's one I always want to try out. Is it kind of like Dynasty Warriors? Like you're just a big area and everyone's just going at it, or what?
So it's like 4 to 6 players, 3 on each
Oh,
side, 2 on each side. You can do
okay.
2v2s, or you can do a main faction war, and your goal is to kind of like in what's that one game called that I play? Hold on, I'm trying to look. And kind of like Chivalry Hearts, trying to overtake the other opponent, and like
Okay.
they're on the defense. So, but there's so many different combo moves. Like you gotta just like practice for a long time to understand like what you're actually doing, because you could just mash buttons all day. Like you would play like your 7-year-old who's like, I don't know what I'm doing, but
That's me. I always button mash.
who doesn't?
I actually want to shout out one indie game that I thought was really, really good, which, if like I'm not much of an indie type of person. Like it's rare, I think, that an indie game really grabs my attention and like I play fully through it and then, still enjoy replaying it. It's called I Am Your Beast, which is basically every level you have to do a certain objective. So let's say uh, interact with 3 different computers and then reach the exit of the level, right? But you have to do it quick, and every time you kill someone, it gives you like a bonus of time, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so you keep remaking the same levels, having different objectives, and basically it's a killing simulator. But the story is basically that you're a guy that works from, I guess, a certain branch of the Homeland Security or whatever, and you're like an assassin of some kind, and you're just tired of it, and so you decide to rebel against your handler. Your handler sends a bunch of people, and every mission is you getting closer and closer to surviving or not surviving the whole attacks from that. So it's kind of hard to explain without showing a video. But yeah, you basically, it's a first person. You start with no weapon usually, and you can grab anything on the ground, whether it's a tree branch, a knife, or whatever, or steal the weapon of someone, a gun, or whatever. And you kill pretty much everything in your path and reach the end of the level, and you have a grade at the end of how well you did. And like I said, every kill sorts of adds or save you time, right? So and there's like this very like somber, simplistic style to it that is super super interesting to listen to. Like between every mission, there's like a small, I would say, subtitle cutscene almost, which sounds weird, but that's basically what it is. And but it's every time super interesting to listen to. The voice acting is really good as well, and yeah, highly recommend that one for sure.
Was that just on PC, JW, or?
That's a good question. I don't know. I played it on PC. I would say it's probably the optimized way of playing it as well, because first-person shooters usually are.
Yeah, that's true.
Let me
When you were about to
search
say
it
I'll
real quick.
remember in 2011 when Terra first released.
Oh yeah.
'Cause I know that's a big indie game back in the day that unfortunately may get lost in time. I don't know, but may. Like there's so many great indie games that came out back in the day. Like Minecraft is an indie game.
Yeah.
Rocket League's one of them. Um, there's a lot of indie games I've never seen on this list that I'm looking at. Like Slime Rancher, fun game.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
And one game I played but not much of is Shovel Knight. I forget what it's about, but it's a fun game.
Yeah, for sure. I remember Shovel Knight. Man, I can't find the I can't find it. I think it might be only on PC.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I
not
was
sure
gonna.
because when I search I'm Your Beast, it gives me Mr. Beast.
Oh.
So
I was gonna tease you when you were saying an indie game. I was like, oh, you gotta talk about Tiny Terry.
oh no, that was so boring. Like there's clearly like work that went into it. Like I don't like it's not bad in an insulting way or anything. It's not bad. You know, you can see there's effort in that.
Yeah.
It's well made. It's just boring to play. It's basically you're a collectathon, but there's nothing much to do in the world. You know, for example, if you take Psychonauts, there's a main quest that you follow. There's a
Yeah.
couple of stuff. Like the levels are interesting, so you want to explore and collect stuff, right? But Tiny Terry is sort of different in the sense of you're just out there. There's nothing to push you along or anything. It's very funny. That's the biggest positive I would give that game. It's an extremely funny game.
I say, yeah, you're
But
you're
you know,
confident.
the trailers make it seem like this sort of cartoony GTA that is like super full of action and fun and whatever. But in the end, it's none of that. It's super cozy and calm and like I made a video on YouTube actually where I compare what the trailer shows and what was my experience and yeah, no, it's just not at all the same, I would say.
I would say another fun indie game that I played, we all played back in the day, like a couple years ago, right around during COVID, was Among Us.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
I I remember sitting in my high school class in Spanish, and they let us have our phones out. So when we were done doing stuff, we would all just sit there and we would all play Among Us with each other. And there was one YouTuber that came out with a video, and you could only see the person's name, but the person's name was who went with where was with I, kind of like using nouns or pronouns, whatever you call it. And it was a very, very fun video to watch because you could see just like the stress they were going through trying to find this killer.
It
Right.
is. Yeah, no, it is a really good game to play with friends. It is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's only on PC, the game. I can't find another platform.
Oh,
Or a
okay.
Wikipedia page for that matter on that.
So what else, Loco? What else you playing for the month of October?
It's basically Minecraft,
Yeah.
college football, Battlefield 1, and Chivalry. And then the new COD, of course, I can rant on about that. The new
Yeah.
COD's fun. It's on Game Pass if you ever want to try it out, if you have Game Pass. The only nitpick I'd have to say is that once you, and I've seen this with the entire community, is skill-based matchmaking. It's just like you want to play casual, you want to have fun, but then you like after like 2 or 3 wins, you get into these super sweaty lobbies. It's like one, not even try, or two, go to a different game mode or a new game mode in general. The game's fun though, but it's just like it gets kind of just like really Treyarch.
So I got to hear quite a few people's reviews on it, but I'm curious. Have you tried out like the zombies mode? Have you tried out the campaign, or are you just more
Oh, the zombies. I like the zombies. Sleepy, I think it was me, Sleepy's wife, and a buddy of our Dutch. We were all playing together on Terminus, which is like the second zombie map.
Okay.
And the second zombie map comes on, and
And
Oh, did you cut out, Loco?
yeah, I think we lost you.
So unfortunately, at this part, it looks like Loco Roco had to leave to go look after his dog. It wasn't feeling very well, so we will have to continue that story another time that he was trying to finish up. Um, but yeah, so at this point, JW and myself will take over the rest of the podcast. Yeah, I just hope you guys enjoy the rest of the show. Loco. Everybody, I'll go back on here, just so you know.
Well, until Local's back, Mindful, have you seen, watched, or played anything new this October? Or is there a particular news story you want to go through?
Well, like I said, I showed out some of the games. The only movie, I'm trying to think, was there? Oh, I did watch Evil Dead Rise, which was fucking gross, but I mean, I expected it.
That's great, yeah.
Yeah, like it's still a good movie. Like it's, I don't know, it's one of those movies where I'm like, I'm disgusted, but I'm just like, oh, I want to see what's gonna happen. Like, yeah, that was really cool how they're gonna how they
It
tied.
was so different from the other ones too.
Yeah, and I went down a rabbit hole afterwards, like I usually do, and I'm happy with a movie. And apparently, a lot of the people's ideas and rumors and all that is that they think the third one's going to tie everything all together, and it's going to be the three survivors. One of them, obviously, being Ash, which would be kind of cool if he came back for a final, I guess, goodbye to Evil Dead. If
It
that's
could be possible, I guess, but I mean, Bruce Campbell is getting really old. I mean, that was the whole joke of the Evil Dead TV series, right?
yeah,
That's why it ended.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean that'd be kind of interesting. Just like a lot of people focus books, I guess, because there's supposed to be 3 books altogether of the dead, and now
Yep.
each one of them has been found technically. So yeah, that's the general consistency of why why they think that it's going to lead up to that for the third movie. But yeah, just really good movie. If you saw the first one, you liked it, I'm sure the second one will be your cup of tea as well. For me, the one that actually made me really happy and excited was the new Scream. Was it their Scream 7 now they're at, or Scream 6? I can't remember what it is. Number wise.
They're like Call of Duty at this point. It's
Yeah.
just Scream 1000.
Like I just refer to the new Scream. There was the one that came out a couple years ago now. That one I really liked. I thought it captured the first Scream essence really well. And it was just
Oh yeah, because
yeah.
I've stopped after 4. I haven't watched since.
I like I said, I really liked it. I think you might enjoy it too if you really enjoyed Scream 1. Because we know like 2 and 3, right, got a little bit silly. But the first one was pretty on par.
Yeah.
As far as as far as a thriller movie should be, and I think that's what the new generation captured well. And I like the way that they kind of tied in the new characters and the old characters together. I think they did a good job. Not making them feel godlike. You know, some people are scared to hurt the main characters in the past or kill
No,
them
for
or
sure.
do whatever to them.
That's the that's often the problem with new writers. Actually, they're scared or they're too attached to their characters, and they don't want to put them through hardship or through death or
Yeah,
anything.
exactly. And there were moments in that one where I definitely gasped. But anyway, the newer one talking about, there's a lot of cool scenes. Like I remember in the trailer I saw the scene where he had the shotgun, and when I got to that part, it was actually cool. Like I was like, holy fuck, Ghostface is using a gun, and it's not lame. Like it actually like seems pretty cool and intense. Um, yeah. He just there's just a lot of good moments in that one. Really impressed. It was nice to see Scream kind of find its footing again after like I said, almost becoming a parody, really, for the past 2, 3, 4 movies now. So 3 of them all together.
Like I said, I stopped after 4 because 4 was so ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah.
3, 2, 3, but like 2 was like it's but 3 and 4 were like so ridiculous that I stopped.
Right.
I watched the show. I watched the show, and the show is really good as well.
Really? Okay. I was curious.
Yeah. It's not the same thing because like it's also really funny, but it's very good. It's definitely worth their watch. The TV show, first and second season.
Nice. Okay, I'll have to watch that one then. Yeah, because I was curious how that one.
It's on Netflix.
Is this? Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. I guess that's the other big. I watched that '90s show, just before we were gonna do the podcast. So like I said, that one ended up getting canceled, which kind of sucked. It was actually pretty decent for a continuation of that '70s show. Yeah, yeah, I think that was really much it. Like I said, I watched it again. You know what I mean? Like I watched a whole bunch of horror movies that I already seen, but we were craving. We watched the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Not really horror, but
Great.
it fit the month. That one's always
Well, it's way more musical than a horror, but yeah, no,
it's
it's a
still
great
good.
film nonetheless. Yeah.
Meatloaf always cracks me up when he's in that one. I love his little part.
I think my favorite part is when it's what Janet's song where they're where they find out that she slept with like the honky dude,
Oh,
and then it's the whole dinner scene, and then there's her whole song pops
yeah,
out.
it's just so awkward at
Janet
dinner.
Planet.
Oh,
I think that's my favorite part, but a bunch of very good ones.
yeah. No, it has so many funny parts to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and It too. Like, if someone hasn't seen It, I'm gonna be shocked at this point, but definitely just so good. Like, I can't get enough of that
Well,
movie.
I've seen the first one, but not the second one.
The second one's really good too. I like that it stayed like with the first one's approach. Like there was no holding back. Is the best way to explain it. And
Oh, cool.
I appreciate that, right? Like I was worried, right? Because it was a few years afterwards, right? So you never know with the current cultures and stuff that we have now. But I'm glad they stuck with it and they just
Yeah.
yeah, they kept that kind of edge. Um,
I mean, they still cut a bunch of stuff from the books, but
yeah,
it's not a problem.
yeah, and the actor did a great job portraying Pennywise. That was a fantastic choice.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, Sasgard is very good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. From the past month, like I said, the biggest two things I have was Resident Evil 4 and Diablo 4. I mean, 4 seems to be the magic number, as far as good
Yeah.
games go. Yeah, I can't get over how good Diablo 4 was with you. Like, I mean, it's always great, like co-op game. Like it's never been that. But just yeah, like everything we talked about, like just going through that entire map and exploring it. Um, like I said to you on stream, right? Like I'm totally fine if it takes us a while to finish the campaign because every side quest has been fun and every dungeon that we've gone has been unique. Even the
Well, it's
strongholds.
not only that, right? It's the character progression as well. All the skills that you get to unlock and try on and
Oh,
refund and try other combination. It's so addictive,
like
right?
I can't believe 30 levels later and we found out that hidden mechanic that you noticed where you could take your skill right and you could put it into enchantment.
Yeah, well, I think this unlocks later. I don't think it's something that we have from this. I would
I'm
have to
wondering.
research.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like within the first 10 levels or something we just never noticed. But such a game changer, JW. Wow. Like when I actually started looking at the
Yeah,
skills, like, oh,
because basically, for people that don't know, in Diablo 4, you have like your skill slots, and in the skill section, you have each skill has like an enchantment sort of thing attached to them. So, for example, the Fire Hydra, there's an enchantment attached to it that if you use 200 mana, a big Hydra comes out, right? So you can equip two enchantments, so meaning you can use only one enchantment of, no, I mean two enchantment, so two skills for one enchantment
yeah.
or whatever.
Every skill has an enchantment attached to it.
So it's basically an extra passive that plays out. Like I have one where a serpent constantly appears and throws fire. And it's a big game changer in terms of what you do and how you build your character, which enchantment you use. Yeah, it's basically an active passive is the best way to describe it.
And the fact that you get 2 slots, like you just said, right? You can combine, like, oh, I'm so excited now to go through that skill tree and just see later on, like, ooh, this one will, match this one's energy very well for the build I'm going for. Like,
Oh, when we ended stream last Monday, I was so disappointed because I wanted to continue to go on, and I was like, I can't. I have my full
oh, I know. I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. You have to eat. It's fine. But actually, I thought about it. I wanted to continue. I could just use a seasonal character as well, right? That won't advance the main plot.
That's true. Yeah.
So maybe next time I'll do that. But every time we finish, I'm like, damn, I would have continued longer. But as well, I probably wouldn't have to sleep.
That's what I was telling
continued,
Cheyenne.
right?
Yeah, that's what I was telling Cheyenne. I was like, oh man, I was like, if I had the day off, and I know GW did, I was like, I'm pretty sure we would have gone to like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning playing this. I said, it's so much. Like once you're into it, like you're in it. Like you said, you really want to like mess around with that character, see what works best. You get that next. Like we still have that 1 tier slot, I think, that we haven't unlocked yet. So there's still all those skills, right?
That's true.
To explore and look at.
That's true. Yeah. But yeah, no.
And it's just 1 character. Like that's the crazy part. Like
yeah, just 1 character.
Like we still have other
so
characters.
It's like that for every character. That's every class have that sort of freedom of all those skills combos, right?
Yeah, and there's still, like I said, I'm assuming this one will be like all the other Diablos. So you'll probably have in the previous ones it was the green armor set, and that was like the very unique armor, right, that you could unlock. And if you had all of them combined together, you got like a special bonus on top of that,
right,
for whatever they gave. So I mean, there's still all that to find and see how it works well with our characters, right? Like there's they did a really good job with customization on this one.
And we're just at the start.
Yeah, like
I feel like we're going to spend our whole life on it.
And it's like for you too. I know you were really excited about it. Like, how has it been as far as like customizing the colors and stuff like that for your character? Like, do you feel like you get to make your character very unique for what you want?
Mostly, I wish there was more of a. You could choose the individual colors, but you can't. You have to choose between color palettes specifically for each individual items.
Okay.
And you can, by salvaging items with a certain icon, you can sort of unlock customization image, right? So you can have an equipment, but put the visual of another cooler equipment, right?
So that's why
you're there's yeah. So there's enough to customize and do cool stuff, but I sometimes get annoyed between the color palettes that I constantly switching between the color palettes instead of me selecting the colors I want. But it's very nitpicky at this point. The customization is very good for what it is.
Yeah, that's
especially
cool.
Also that every class have their own faces and have a special haircut, or there's like visual specials for each class as well. So
yeah, I remember you said when you were going through the character selections, you were saying that each one was very unique on how it was put there. But that's cool. I didn't realize that when you scrapped the item, you could copy how that item looked. Because
it depends which one. There's like a specific icon, which is a sort of orange rectangle or whatever, and when you put the cursor item, it will be written. If you salvage, you will unlock this customization.
Okay. I mean, it's still nice because I mean, there's many times I'm sure we've all been there where you picked up that one item that's like really good, but it just looks so shit on your character.
Well, this has happened often, yes. And and to my detriment, I usually pick the shitty item that looks good over the good item.
So true, yeah. Me too. As I'm not big into it,
Well,
but yeah, there's sometimes where I'm just like, nah, this looks like dog crap. Like I don't want this on me.
it depends. If it's like times 20 better, then I make an exception. But otherwise, I normally go with the coolest. Have to wrecked and look cool, okay?
That's right. Oh man. And I agree with you. I love how our characters are combining together now. The fire and ice technique is working really well together. I'm
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, I'm excited to take on one of the big bosses hopefully soon.
Yeah, we should at some point get back to the butcher and all the ones that beat our asses at the beginning.
And that wolf, that wolf was really cool. I enjoyed that character too. When we got to the was it Tristram, the portal there?
Oh, that's so cool. And it was the same music too. I knew it. I was
Yeah.
like, isn't that the music from Diablo 2? Like it sounds like Tristram. And the zombie wolf or whatever told us it was Tristram that went to hell. Like that, god damn.
Yeah. Yeah, that poor
Poor
town.
Tristram.
The way it just gets
Yeah.
effed over every game. um, okay, I was gonna say, I guess Loco had a connection error or something there. Um, so yeah, unless you had any other games or movies you had to shout out or shows, JW, I was gonna switch gears and just say the big thing I think for this month really is that you started streaming and you're doing a lot of big things. I was gonna make a joke earlier there, just saying that Tiny Terry might have been boring, but your commentary really makes those shorts and videos that you had about it extremely funny. I think you added the perfect amount of humor to it. But yeah, I just I wanted you to have a little bit of a spotlight because you've done a lot of work on your channel, your Discord, and your streaming. So for those that don't know, maybe have a chance to talk about it.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, I decided to start streaming, which means I stream some gaming, which currently is Diablo 4. And I also stream some writing as well. So I do some either do some writing and answer some questions that someone has, or we work on a short story with the community together, right? Where people in the chat, or if you're part of the Discord server, you can even have the link to the documents and work together into making this short story that we're making. And so that has been quite fun to do as of now. And yeah, we'll continue to do so. All of this can also be seen on YouTube. Like I made various videos and all that. I mean, it's interesting because when I was younger, I used to do some editing. Right, I did some like I would love to do AMVs and editing songs, or even most specifically, actually trailers with bits of animes that I like. Right, and make
Ooh,
a sort of story out of it.
okay.
And today I look back on them and I think they're cringe, but I had fun during that time I was doing it, right?
Of course, yeah.
And so do going to streaming and making new videos of the gameplay I was doing and all that sort of made me fall in love with the editing again, and I sort of nonstop started editing and doing stuff, right? And so
Yeah, you
so
done
it sort of
well.
took over my life for like when I first started, which I was constantly editing videos and streaming and stuff. Like I didn't have a balance, but now that I'm sort of slowly getting into it, it's sort of balancing itself out, putting a couple of videos, putting one or multiple shorts a day as well. So that has been interesting. There's also been some interesting growing on the different platforms and social medias I've had that I wasn't expecting. And so it's been just a great experience overall, and planning to continue like this, right? I have new writing videos that should be out this week if I can properly edit the super long hours of the last writing stream.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I think it was today. Like I saw you had 2 from Diablo 4 already. I was like, wow. I was like, you got that done so quick already. The shorts that you uploaded.
Well, the shorts are the easiest part, really. Thanks to Twitch, there's like an easy plugin of just wanting to take a bit and then publishing it on YouTube directly and then sharing it, right?
Yep.
So that's the most insulting part of all of this, actually, because I make so much effort on certain videos of editing and making it funny. You know, I often have a joke or an objective
Yeah.
in making the video I make, and then it has like 10 views, but then you take a short that like without even a thought, and then it gets like 500 views, 1,000.
It's just
I mean, it's great. Like I don't mind it, but it's just a bit insulting, really, because you put more effort into one, right?
I know, right? I always think to them, like, God damn, people's attention span. They can handle a minute's video,
Yeah.
but no, not 10 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. But
I know.
yeah, no, I was trying at first because I have like Diablo 4 videos, right? Those were my first ones.
Yep.
And so I noticed that I was just doing like rehashing my streams, right? And trying to do this sort of linear progression. But I noticed that I didn't like doing that. Like I didn't want to do like a follow-up of just my streamer.
Okay.
So I decided that I would just, sort of, if I can weave a sort of story or an objective or a joke or whatever around those videos instead. So it's going to be, it's not going to be every stream I have a video, right? It's more like, I will do that for my writing streams, but not for my gaming streams.
Fair enough. I get that. I was gonna ask you, when you
So I
said you
think it would
noticed.
be more interesting like that as well and funner.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was gonna say, when you noticed a difference in the platforms, what did you notice, like, in your journey so far? Like, I'm assuming you meant between Twitch, Discord, and YouTube, or was it other platforms?
It was, well, social media in general. So yeah, Discord, there was X, there was Instagram, I even tried TikTok for like a while
Wow.
and got nothing.
Oh, really?
Like no matter the tags I was putting, zero.
Wow, I'm shocked.
I don't know what or how it works on that platform, but well, I have an idea actually, because TikToks are mostly, they take a video or something that exists, remix it into something else, right?
Yep.
With a song over, with a performance, with a whatever. So I wasn't doing that, right? They were just shorts, and I think that is why, but I might be wrong. One or the other. I closed my account because like I wasn't getting anywhere. But for some reason, X blew up recently. Like I've gotten like over like 50 follows in like a couple of
Wow.
like days or hours or whatever, and so that was super surprising. Like I didn't do anything different really. It was just posting some shorts or whatever.
That's amazing. Wow.
Instagram is a bit trickier because I need to download the shorts in order to post them compared to the other ones. The other ones I can just share it and it's easy.
Okay.
But so I haven't been using my Instagram much. And but yeah, so in terms of that's that. In terms of difference of platforms between YouTube and Twitch, so I haven't streamed on YouTube yet. I'm planning to do it to try it at some point to see. But YouTube is super annoying to deal with compared to Twitch.
Yeah.
Like when you make a new account, like to unlock, there's like 3 or 4 sets of settings to unlock, where you need to do different kinds of verification, right? Like I needed to verify my identity with my phone. I needed to verify to wait for someone to see my history of videos, and
Yeah,
it's so much red tape to just starting something, and it's so annoying.
I agree. Yeah,
But Twitch is easy. Like you either do it through browser or through OBS or whatever. You set up with the stream key, with how you want to place your chat, whatever, their overlays, and you start streaming. That's it. There's no red tape, there's no whatever. It's all on you, and it's easy to start. So I like, so currently I like Twitch better in that sense, and I don't need to constantly verify that it's me.
yeah,
You know, every time I go on YouTube Studio, it asks me to verify myself, which is super annoying. So but you know, they serve different different aspects, right? YouTube is better in terms of uploading videos, right?
yeah.
They're better with videos. But I haven't streamed on YouTube, so it remains to be seen. But I suspect Twitch is probably more fun or less complicated. I don't know.
I agree. No, I
Um,
definitely agree with you on that one. And I guess it's like the approach you want to do with YouTube, right? Like it kind of sounds like you're in the same boat as me. YouTube's more of like the highlights and like that kind of stuff. Where like you said, Twitch is like the bread and butter, right? That's where you're going to be doing most of your streaming on.
yeah, for sure. And like again, YouTube will be more than highlights though. Like it will really be where I will, for example, the Tiny Terry videos. Like I put a video where it was like a side by side comparison of my experience with the trailer. That's a specific idea behind a video that I wanted to make.
Yep.
So YouTube will be more geared towards that than just my highlights. But yeah, for sure, in terms of posting shorts, my highlights, yeah.
Yeah. Um.
And but yeah, no, I think I'll try the YouTube stream while I stream on Twitch at the same time, when I will do some writing streams. I don't know when I'll get it set up and all that, but I think I'll try that at some point.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say that one there. I just think it's such a fantastic idea. Like I'm sure it's been done, and stuff like that. But like I haven't heard it enough where someone's done like a stream like that where they literally make a book with their audience. Yeah, it's really neat.
Well, I've often seen sprint writings, right? So meaning people get together and then they start together to write their own project, right?
Oh,
But
okay.
it's true that so let's say everybody has their own project or whatever. They just come together, basically like a group study, right? And
Okay.
then they work to so they start the timer, like, okay, we'll work for that amount of time, and then they work, then they take a break, they chat, whatever, then they come. So I've seen that in the past, but it's true that I haven't seen what you're talking about, what I'm doing, which is making a short story and explaining my thought behind it, taking the viewers' thought and questions as well, and referencing different concepts. For example, recently I've posted a video where I take a chunk of the stream where we talk about point of views and the different love languages that you can have with characters, or that you can use in your notes. That is very interesting to explore.
Yeah, that was.
So that's just one video of 10 minutes that I've done, which was super interesting to do with the viewers.
And how's that going though? I remember you were saying that was one of your buddies was gonna hop in and start joining you with those writing streams.
Yeah, I have a buddy, yeah, that is from my writing group. That's
Oh,
true.
okay.
Yeah, that will. He said he was super interested into that. He'll join up. So remains to be seen. But yeah, no, it will definitely be awesome, and have some back and forth. And but in the end, that's really the point of it all, right? With these writing streams, have this sort of building this stuff together as a community and then posting it on the different writing platforms on the net.
Yeah. So I guess I meant is like how's the audience been? Because I watched on YouTube. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to or not, but I like I said, to me it sounded like you were talking to a lot of people, but I don't see chat. I don't see any of that right on your videos. So I don't know. I don't
No,
know.
because well, here's the thing: you need a community, a community for this to work. And I sort of it was an oversight I didn't think about. So
Okay.
I'm still doing the streams. Like I won't stop doing the streams
Oh yeah,
because
no.
the view count is low, right? It's a bit like a comedian. A comedian have gigs, and even if no one shows up, they do their gig, right? And
No, of course,
so
yeah.
that's basically it. So
I just meant like
so
if you had someone on there that's been writing with you so far, or if it has it been just you so far?
well, it's been just me so far. Like I've had different people come in, and we've had discussion and questions about different concepts.
Oh, okay, good.
But it's been me. There's been one other people. There's been question death as well, where we've exchanged a few ideas during the writing notes
Nice.
when we were taking the notes, which can be seen on YouTube with the first writing video.
I kind of figured, yeah, because I know he'd be a good one too to be on that. Because yeah, he loves writing as well.
Sure. And yeah, no, because before all that, me and Question Dev talked a lot about writing as well.
Yeah.
And so yeah, no, I've had some coming and going, but it's been mostly me, sort of guiding through it and explaining what my thought process is, right?
Yeah, which I
Because
said I really
in the end,
enjoyed.
these streams are not supposed to be. I'm not a teacher or anything, right? They're not supposed to be me telling you what to do, what you should or should not do, right? Like I do warnings, I say my thoughts, but in the end, they could be totally wrong. It's just stuff that I think personally that is cool and interesting, right?
Yeah, well, I said, yeah, the first video I watched that you did, I found it very insightful. I think you did a great job, um, like exploring behind the scenes, I guess, of how to put that whole story together. Because I'm that person,
Yeah,
right?
well,
If
thank
I
you.
if,
Like
if I get an idea, you just
you should watch the next one that I'm currently editing.
Oh yeah, no,
Because
I
the
will.
next one I refer to a bunch of different concepts, books, and examples like this. So stay tuned for that.
Of course. Yeah, no, I said just it was neat, right? Because I said before, I don't know if you've done this as well, right? But I've usually have a bad habit of like, oh, I got a cool character, and I just start writing, and I don't really think about like the long term. I just I just go with what's in my mind. So yeah, that's what I said. That's what was kind of neat, like getting a lot of ideas from you, right? Of different ways to paint the picture, so to speak, to put the whole story together. Instead of just jumping
Oh,
into
that
it.
can be fine as well. That can be fine as well. It's just there are different kinds of writers, right? Some
Yeah.
people likes to take enormous amount of notes, research, and whatever, and other people just likes to jump in it. I'm like sort of in between.
Okay.
Like I know I prefer to jump in it immediately, but my sort of rational side also thinks, even though I don't like to take notes, it would be important to just take a small amount of notes. So I often have you take a white page, you put keywords of stuff, and
Okay.
I often have, let's say my main characters, and I have keywords of what makes these characters or what I want with these characters, and then sort of build it off of that. It's not it doesn't need to be super detailed, and you don't need to
Yeah.
figure out everything right away. I often have the idea of beginning and end in my head already in advance. It's really the middle that is not always too sure.
No, that's a good idea too, actually. I like that. Um, and then yeah, because I should have this edited pretty quickly. It's not too bad of a stream, and there wasn't too many games that we shouted out that'll take a while to throw in. So in the next couple weeks? Is there anything? I mean, obviously, you just said you got your writing streams coming up. You'll have Diablos on Monday. But is there anything that people should look forward to the next couple weeks that you might have done, or you'll be working on?
I'm hoping to finish my latest writing video for this week. A big one, like the first video I did.
Yeah.
So I'm planning to release it this week.
Nice. Okay.
But otherwise, just more short every day, and maybe not during the weekends. It depends if I have time, but usually during the whole week, I have shorts. And yeah, that's basically it. I might do every time I say to myself, if I have a bit of free time, I'll do an extra gaming stream of a game that's totally not related to Diablo or whatever. But
Yep.
I haven't done that yet.
It's hard. It's definitely hard to fit it in.
Like yeah, for sure. Because like there's a bunch of game I would like to, let's say, play or stream or whatever. And
Yeah, like No Man's
also, when I
Sky would
started
be
the
cool.
Diablo 4, yeah, No Man's Sky, that would be great. And when I did the Diablo 4 thing, I thought there would be a beginning and end. Like I didn't expect it was grand experience that would probably last a lifetime, right?
Of course, yeah. Well, I mean, if
So
it's ever a Monday, right, where you definitely want to play a game or whatever, let me know, and that's totally fine as well.
oh sure, but I'll probably just choose another day because I want to play it. It's the only time I get to play Diablo 4. So.
Yeah, that's very true. I always forget to ask you about this one, so I got you live here. Obviously, you're really, really passionate right now about streaming and all that stuff. Has it taken away any of your time for writing your own stuff though, or like, right now
Yes.
are you enjoying this ride and you just want to enjoy this at the moment?
No, you're right. Well, that's part of what I was saying when I said when I first started, it sort of took over my life. Like I wasn't writing, I was just editing and doing stuff. Right?
Oh, I get you.
But now after a while of like figuring out what I wanted to do, how to balancing it out and everything, I've gotten back to writing last week.
Nice.
And the other thing that sort of bumped me out is that I lost a chapter on one of my stories, so I need to rewrite it. So that sort of also
shit.
took away my will of wanting to write it. But I'm back into it. I've been rewriting it, and yeah, no, I have a better balance now. It's good. It's just my day work that is making me not want to work. But
Yeah, fair
that's
enough. No, good on you. Holy crap. That's a lot to fit into a schedule. Like, wow. Awesome job, man.
Well, normally it wouldn't be. Yeah, it's a lot, but normally it's doable. But this week, I have to say, my day work has put a lot on my plate. So, like, I've had to cancel Thursday streams because I'll be busy all the way through, like, all the way through the evening. So,
Yeah, that's your long day, you said. That's right.
yeah, I'm really annoyed with this too because I wasn't expecting it at all, and I have to in everything. So it's anyway. If it finishes in advance, I'll do a stream. Like if I can somehow find a way to sneak back to my place and finish it early, then I'll put the stream back. But currently, it's my most busy day, so I don't think so.
Just get there. I agree with everything you're saying. Now let me leave. Just kidding. um, yeah. Listen, there's really, yeah, everything should be pretty normal this week. On my side of things, I'll probably just continue playing Resident Evil 4. I'm pretty boring right now until I wrap this game up. Yeah, I just want to beat it. I definitely want to beat it for the end of the year, so I can talk about it better from at least beginning to end. Really
And you
excited.
won't be able to go to a game after Resident Evil 4.
I really feel like
everything will seem, everything will seem like back, like a sort of a way back from what Resident Evil 4 did.
And like the worst part is like I want to finish it, and then in my mind I'm like, I should probably play Perfect Dark again though, just so I can refresh myself on the harder levels. Like sorry, like upgrade the harder difficulties. And I also wanted to try the sequel too, so I could see what the difference was between the two of them. Yeah. Damn it! I picked some pretty good
Yeah, I
games
need
this
to
year.
finish Perfect Dark as well. That's true. I've been continuing it, but I haven't finished it. The last level I did was the submarine or that one, so I'm in the spaceship now or
Oh,
whatever.
nice. Oh yeah, you're
I'm
really
pretty sure I'm
close.
close to the. It feels like close to the end. So
You definitely are. Yeah. Nice, nice, nice. All right, perfect. Well, next year we'll be able to do
and
our.
in next year we'll be able to make that Perfect Dark video together.
That's right. Oh God, that's another really good game. Like I said, was
Yeah.
if it wasn't for Resident Evil 4, I definitely was gonna shout out Perfect Dark well. But Resident Evil 4 is surpassed that game in so many ways. Not that it's a bad game. It just Resident Evil 4 is a different beast.
Oh, for sure, and different times, right? One
Yeah,
is N64, and the other one is like the end of
no,
the PS2 GameCube era.
so true. But yeah, buddy. I said I think I'm all tapped out of things. So I hope you have yourself a great night. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, it was great. Till next time.
Until next time, my friend. Um, here we'll just do our normal little thingamabobber. Okay, and then for everybody else, thank you guys for tuning in today. It was a little bit different of a podcast. Well, I say this as we haven't done a podcast in a month, but basically, yeah, this was a little more different. I just wanted to kind of recap with everybody, see how everything was going. Like I said, there was lots, as you could tell, that JW has watched, seen. Um, I've been said differently. Has there's a lot JW has watched on TV and in the theaters, along with gaming. So there's a lot to cover, you know. And Loco Roco, thank you so much for coming on. I'm not sure what happened, buddy. I'll send you a message afterwards, but know that you're always welcome back any single time you want to join us again on the podcast. Sheila, I see you in the comments before. You better get your butt up on here too and talk with the rest of us. You always love hearing your gaming takes or what's frustrated you about the current gaming industry. For those that don't know, so I guess that was kind of a big move. I have partnered up with Sheila for her little business that she has going on right now for retro gaming. So I'll quickly, because you guys can see the comments, I'm going to quickly fire up the link there just so you guys have it. If you are looking for retro games, if you're looking for current games, if you're just trying to find a game that maybe made you the happiest you've ever been, let me or Sheila know. There is her website right now that you can go to and you can see currently what she has in stock. But she is also really good at hunting down the games you want for a price that's very reasonable. So again, best example I can think of is I used to love Champions of Norath for the PS2, and I had someone similar like that here in Winnipeg. Well, Cheyenne knew him. And that guy was able to find a game for us for a really good price. Sheila is that kind of story that you guys can have as well. She will do her best to locate your game and make sure you have it in your hands. Shipping is always great too. She takes excellent care of her packages, making sure that the game is in the same condition that it's promised to you. Also, very good at finding sealed copies of games, which always blows me away. But yeah, please check her out. And if you need more information, you can just reach out to me, and I'll let you know if she's unable to answer your question or get to you back in time. Other than that, like I said, I'm not too sure what's going on Friday. I think my mom's coming into town to pick up something. I don't think I'm going out with her. There's the lady of the hour. That's Prison Gamer. That's Sheila. So like I said, message her, follow her on Twitch. She's your gaming guru. But yeah, I'm not sure what's going on Friday. Um, I'm hoping everything's like normal. Mom just comes and picks up her Amazon package, and maybe we have breakfast together, and then I can just start streaming. Because I don't want to miss another Friday stream. I'm missing way too many lately. It's been a really rough year for streaming for some reason. But we'll try to do our best to fix that. If not, then Monday will be Diablo, or maybe I'll do a surprise stream on Saturday or Sunday or something like that. We'll see how it goes down. But yeah, you guys have yourself a beautiful night. I'm rambling, so let's just call it a night. And I'll catch you all next time. Bye, everyone.